Hi, this is James from Tabletop Gaming Guild, and today we're going to learn how to play Advanced Persistent Threat, which is for 2 to 8 players. And this game here, you're going to be playing as an adversary, trying to protect your own servers from other adversaries while taking out theirs and trying to be the first to get the 6th server up and running. So let's go ahead down to the table here, and I'm going to show you how to play Advanced Persistent Threat. All right, so this is Advanced Persistent Threat. And in this game, you're going to get your player aids. You're going to get a deck of cards here. You can see that deck is pretty large. And you're going to get your player cards here. What you're going to do for this game is you're going to set up a network for each of you. You're going to have this deck that's in the middle. Each player is going to get one of these player aids. And each player is going to pick one of these characters to start the game. Now, these characters themselves don't really have any like powers or anything, but these are, I believe, based off of real organizations like this one here, Cleaver Adversary. This one here is going to be targeting Western defense academics and energy companies. They also target government energy and technology sectors associated with Saudi Arabia. Or like this Longhorn one, which is Longhorn has been active since at least 2011 and targets the financial, telecoms, energy, aerospace, and IT sectors across the Middle East, Europe, Asia, and Africa. So you're going to pick whichever one you want to be, and that's going to be your character for the game. The rest of these can go in the box, and this game will play up to 8 players, so they do give a player aid for every player, which is really nice. And on the player aid here, it's also going to show you your turn structure, which we're going to go over in a minute, and some of the types of cards. But other than that, we're going to shuffle up this deck here in the middle, and then we're going to draw 5 cards for each player. So we'll deal out 5 cards to each player. All right. Leave space next to the deck here, this for your discard, like I said before, and you're going to have your network area. And what this is you're going to have your adversary card here, your reference card here, and then you're going to have spaces available for 6 cards, and you're going to have 2 rows. One's going to be your server row, and the top row here is going to be for your software and malware, which is going to be on this. If you can get to the 6th server on here, you're going to win the game. The game's over. The game's either going to continue to that or until when you run to the bottom of this deck here. But that's really it for setup. Setup's super easy for this game. Like I said, you're just going to give it a reference card. You're going to make enough room for your network, which is those 2 rows of 6. You're going to, like your adversary card, then you're going to shuffle up this deck here, put it out in the middle, leave enough for a discard pile, and each player draws 5 cards to start the game. All right, so let's get into how to play this game. So, starting with the first player, and you can determine however you want that to be, you're going to go in turn order, and you're going to take 4 steps to your turn. And then once you're done with that, it goes on to the next player until one of the people meets the win criteria. So the first step is going to be perform at any of the beginning of your turn cards. So what that means is, and I don't need to jump a little ahead here, is you're going to have a couple different types of cards here. You're going to have, and the symbols are on top here, and your player aid is nice enough to tell you. So you're going to have malware, exploit, 0-day, production server, staging server, and software. Now your production and staging servers are going to go down here. They'll have their symbol right here, and they'll say server on them. So if I play a card, I'm going to place it down here. And if I play software, I'm going to place it on the top row. Unless it's malware, then I'm going to place it on top of or on the opponent's server row, which we'll go over in a minute. But some of these cards, which I don't happen to have one currently, have at the beginning. So And some of them have conditional. So if this card is in your network at the beginning of your turn, you may draw an extra card. So I'll be able to draw an extra card with this one. All right. So do any of the at the beginning of your turn effects. So as you can see, there's a couple of them. They can be on any of the card types. So they could have been on the server, software, malware, exploits, or it could be any of the cards. You're just going to perform those first. Then you're going to draw a card from the deck. So I'll go ahead and draw a card from the deck. And either play server, software, malware, or exploit card, or draw a card. That's my step 3. So I can do that. And then again, this is on your little player sheet there. So you'll have that at any point in the game so you remember. So I can either play, like I said, a server, software, malware, or exploit card, or draw a card. Then I discard cards down till 7. And then we're going to keep on going until the next, keep on going to the next player. And then we're going to keep on going until it gets back to me. All right, so one of the things that I will mention here, so I have my software, I have my server, I have a lot of 0 days in my hand for some reason. Let's try a different one. Okay, so then I have exploits. So 0 days are unique. So you notice I didn't mention those, so they weren't mentioned in this step 3 at all, to play. And that's because 0 days are sort of like instant cards. I can play this card whenever I want. So for example, this 0 day right here, play this card when any other player tries to play a card. Stop that player from being able to play that card and send it to their discard pile, which is pretty damn cool. All right. So I could have played a server, so I play a server. Now I have to make sure that I give room up to 6 here, because once I get to my 6th server, I will immediately win, or the opponent does. Or I could have played software, so I could have played software on there. And each of these cards, there's so many different cards in here, they have unique abilities in here. So this one here is when this card enters your network, uninstall 2 servers. Then search the deck for any server and deploy it to the network. Shuffle the deck. If this card is uninstalled or deleted, you may search the deck for server and deploy it to your network. Now, that gets it uninstalled and deleted. So we're going to say this was legal for some reason. Let's say I would have played this software card. When you play an exploit card, you may uninstall this card. If you do, return the exploit card to your hand, then immediately play it again. So I get to play exploit cards twice. Now, when I uninstall things, and what does it mean to delete? So there's 2 different methods that can occur. Now, one is going to affect, it has more of an effect than server than software. But let's go into that. So when you uninstall, you're going to move a card from your network to the discard pile. So if I uninstall this card, so I'm going to move it to the discard pile, that's uninstall. Now if I uninstalled a server, so if I remove that, any software above it, including malware, would also be discarded too. So they would go with it. Delete is move a card from any player's network to their discard pile. So I can delete cards, and that can happen with server or software. But just remember, when you are messing with the server, if it gets removed, anything above it is also getting removed. Other things you could have done is you could have get a malware here. So a whole bunch of 0 days. Like I said, you can play them as instants, but you can get these exploits. So this file corruption. Choose any player, return a card in that player's network to their hand. That player must discard a card. So this is file corruption. But we also have malware that we can place in software that causes a bunch of problems here. So let me find one in here, and I'll show you. So here's malware. So read only. You cannot play software cards. So I would place this on my opponent. Let's say that opponent placed it on me. This would go over top this, or this would go above another server that I have on here. And now I can't play software cards, which sucks. But if I remove this server, these go with it. And there's other ways of clearing these viruses or malware out. So, like I said, that's going to be the different things you can do. So, like, we're going to continue on. We're going to keep going around and going around until someone gets their 6th server, and then they're going to win the game. Now, the other way the game can end is we run out of this deck, and if we run out of this deck, the person with the most servers wins the game. Now, you can extend this and have a longer game, so you can go up to 7 servers if you want, or you can have a shorter game and go down to 5 servers if you want. Couple other things. If you're going to have 2 or more players tie for the most servers, and that's only going to really happen if we run out of this deck, you're going to need to go into a tiebreaker. So that is going to be the player with the most amount of software installed in their network wins. If there's still a tie, the winner will be declared by a single best 2 out of 3 game of rock, paper, scissors. Or you can just say you both share the victory. So that's it. That's going to be how you're going to play Advanced Persistent Threat. Now, a couple notations in here. Again, this is a really, really good player aid. I think they did a very good job with this. And you only need the one side. The other side's just a duplicate. And it'll tell you everything you need to know about the game. The only thing that I saw that was missing here is it said discard until the number of cards in your hand meets the hand limit. So your hand limit's technically 7. There's other things that can reduce it, but it would have been nice if they mentioned 7 on here instead. That was the only thing about the player aid that I thought was a little off. Other than that, everything's here. These are the main actions you can do. They're all described on here. Delete, uninstall, steal, move a card from any player's network to your network, discard, move a card from your hand to the discard pile. So everything you need is on that player aid. All right, so that's going to be how you play Advanced Persistent Threat. I hope you like this, how to play. Another note on here, so I do like how fast this game is. This is going to be a casual game, so you're going to be wanting to play this game if you just want to sit down and play a easy to teach game here and you like the theme. The one thing I do wish they did in this is these adversary cards. I really wish they had something. Like there's 0 point to these adversary cards in the game. They look really cool. But if they had like some sort of asymmetric power to them or something, that would have been awesome. As you can tell, they put a lot of work into these, and they're really cool foily adversaries, but they really aren't needed in the game at all. So I wish they had something going on with them that you got at the start of the game. That would have been really cool. Other than that, it's a fun, simple card game. If you're into that and all these cards, there's so many unique abilities to all these cards. I do highly recommend that when you play these, you read these off to the other player so they get a general state of what's happening here. And they have some cool foil art to them. They did put a lot of work into the art there, but some of them look a little samey, even though they're different. But overall, cool. So if you like the theme and you're looking for a simpler game to play that's easy to teach and you just sit down and have some fun, Advanced Persistent Threat might be for you. But that was our how to play. If you like what we do, please like and subscribe. It really does help us out a lot. It helps us get equipment and all sorts of fun stuff to make more videos, and we really appreciate it. But for now, I hope you all have a great day, and thank you for watching.